Property taxes in Texas can be an absolute beast. If you own a home in the Lone Star State, that annual tax bill can be a massive financial burden. But what if I told you the state actually offers a powerful, completely free tool to drastically lower that bill? Well, it does. It's called the Homestead Exemption, and staying informed and proactive about it is absolutely vital to securing your financial stability. So, welcome to this explainer. We're going to break down exactly how you can keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket.
And let's start with why you really need to care about this. The current general residence homestead exemption reduces your school district taxable value by a massive $140,000. For the vast majority of homeowners, that translates to saving roughly $1,200 or more every single year. Yeah, you heard that right. Okay, let's dive into this.
We're gonna demystify this whole bureaucratic process step by step. We'll cover understanding your benefits, eligibility, a step-by-step application guide, critical timelines, common mistakes to avoid, and exactly how you can take action today.
Let's kick things off right away with Section 1, Understanding Benefits. What actually is a homestead exemption?
In plain English, a homestead exemption is basically a property tax benefit that removes a big chunk of your home's value from taxation. See, you're taxed based on the appraised value of your home, right? And if you just bought your first house, seeing that tax bill based on the full value can be a huge shock. This exemption effectively lowers that appraised value on paper, so you were paying taxes on a much smaller amount. Plus, as a really nice added bonus, it provides some legal protection for your home against certain creditors.
And those savings, they can stack up so incredibly fast. On top of that mandatory $140,000 school district exemption we talked about, local cities and counties actually have the option to offer an additional exemption of up to 20% of your home's appraised value. To put that into perspective, if you have a $200,000 home, that 20% local exemption adds another $40,000. This means your taxable value could be reduced by over $180,000 in total. You'd literally only be paying taxes on the remaining $20,000.
That is a real game changer. So, let's move to Section 2. Eligibility, and see how this builds. Who actually qualifies for these benefits?
This brilliantly illustrates the different tiers of exemptions you can get. The general exemption gives you that $140,000 base reduction just for the house being your primary residence. But look at how these benefits stack. If you're 65 or older, or if you qualify for Social Security disability benefits, you get an extra $60,000 off, plus a tax ceiling that completely freezes your school taxes at their current level. And for our 100% disabled veterans, the state offers a total property tax exemption. 0 property taxes on your homestead, period.
Now, for the vast majority of us claiming that general exemption, the rules are really straightforward. First, you have to own the property. Your name must be on the deed, not an LLC. Second, you got to occupy the home as your principal residence on January 1st of the tax year. Third, you absolutely cannot claim a homestead exemption anywhere else, whether that's in Texas or another state. And finally, you must be a Texas resident.
So, assuming you check those boxes, let's get into the highly practical third section, the application process. I want to reassure you right now, this is totally free and actually pretty easy.
It really just comes down to 3 simple steps. Step 1, pull the correct application, which is the Comptroller's Form 5114. You can easily download this from the state website or your local county site. Step 2, make a copy of your Texas ID. And Step 3, submit those documents directly to your local county appraisal district, often called the CAD. Remember, do not send this to the state comptroller. It has to go to your local CAD.
Okay, listen closely because this is the crucial point, the single biggest hurdle that trips up new homebuyers. The address on your Texas driver's license or state ID absolutely must match the address of the homestead property you're claiming, perfectly. Imagine you just bought your dream house, you rush to fill out the paperwork, but your ID still lists your old apartment address. Your application will stall out. You have to update your ID first.
So here's your quick document checklist. Everyone needs Form 50-114 and their Texas ID. Now, if you inherited the property and don't have a deed in your name, you'll also need to include Form 50-114A, which is just a supporting affidavit. If you're applying for a veteran exemption, include your VA disability rating letter. And a quick side note for active duty military who might not have a Texas ID, you can actually use your military ID along with the utility bill in your name for that property.
Moving right along to Section 4, Timelines. Knowing the specific dates required by the Texas tax code is literally the difference between saving money now or totally missing out.
The chronological flow starts on January 1st. That's your anchor, the date you must own and occupy the home. Your standard filing deadline is April 30th. But here's the most interesting part, the grace period. If you miss that April 30th deadline, don't panic. The law actually allows you to file a late application up to 2 years after the delinquency date, which is usually February 1st. And for disabled veterans, that late window can sometimes even extend up to 5 years.
But look, even with a simple process, things can go sideways. That brings us to Section 5, common mistakes and pitfalls to avoid.
Let's rapid fire through these. First, never, ever pay a third-party site or service that sends you an official-looking letter offering to file this for a fee. The application is completely free. Second, as we just mentioned, forgetting to update your ID to match the property address. Third, procrastinating and missing those deadlines. And finally, sending the form to the state comptroller in Austin. Remember, it goes local, like the Hare Central Appraisal District or the Travis Central Appraisal District.
Now, a very common FAQ we see all the time is, do I need to reapply every single year? Generally speaking, the answer is no. Once you're approved, it auto-renews. However, a new law passed in 2024 requires appraisal districts to conduct regular audits. What this means is your local CAD might send you a verification request every 5 years. If you check your mail and get one of these letters, you must respond to reconfirm your eligibility, or you risk losing your exemption altogether.
Which brings us to our final section, take action and save. You've got the knowledge now to secure your financial stability. The financial benefits here are just too massive to ignore. If you haven't filed yet, your immediate next step is to find your county appraisal district online. Download Form 5114, update your ID if you need to, and file it today. You are completely empowered to navigate this process with confidence.
And finally, an important note to leave you with. While this explainer provides reliable information, viewers should consult with legal or tax professionals for personalized advice concerning their specific circumstances. But honestly, ask yourself this. If filling out one simple, free form can save you over $1,000 a year, what other hidden local tax breaks are hiding in your county's fine print just waiting to be claimed? Don't leave your money on the table. Take charge of your property taxes today. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.